I am so sick of rotation and value stock. I still like my growth stocks, and growth stocks is what will bring me multiple bagger growth in future. Stick with me on this video. I shall explain why you should be comfortable holding growth stocks, and I will give you my 8 growth stocks that I like and you should consider buying. I want to share with you my views on 8 really good growth stocks. But this 8 will not, I repeat, will not include Tesla, Fiverr, AMD, Pinterest or Fiverr, because the 5 I hold and the 5 I speak regularly on my channel. So it's unfair giving the same region. If you want to know more about these 5 stocks, go on my playlist and find out more. But let me give you this exclusive 8 stocks that I would personally buy today to hold for long-term growth. Growth stocks have got nothing to recover from. They've thrived really well through the pandemic. They've done extremely well. They've evolved, they've disrupted, and they've shown the way that we should live for years ahead. Rotation and value stocks like cruise, airlines, retail shopping, they are all injured. They're all issuing bonds. They're trying to convince you to buy for them to recover. Yes, they will recover 50, 100% potentially. But what's going to happen after that? Let me give you some simple data fact. Value stocks, rotation stock, yes, they will recover. But what happens in the decade after for long-term investors? Who will win? And let me show you this chart, and this chart will blow you away. There are 5 against 5 stocks. You've got ExxonMobil, GE, HSBC, Marks & Spencer, and Vodafone. Between 2015 to 2020, these stocks have peaked. And when they peak, they bloat. When they bloat, what happens? They go sideways or they decline. Look at the decline side of the chart. However, let's look at growth stocks. Growth stocks will survive 2011, 2014, and then what happens after? Adobe, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, PayPal, names that you know, tech sector that disrupt technology last decade. And this one, they were up 7 times, 11 times, 3 times, 11 times, and 5 times. So let me ask you one more time. Would you rather hold value stocks, which will perhaps double or 50% in 2021? Or would you rather hold growth stocks that will potentially go 5x or 10x in the next decade? Before I get into the stocks, please click like and smash that like button to help me grow my YouTube channels if you find great value in this video today. So let me establish some family ground rules. Okay, we're not just going to pick any growth stock off the tree here. There are some ground rules that you have to pay attention. So rule number 1, it needs to have fair multiple growth. I'm not going to pick the likes of SpaceX or Crispia, which got thousands of multiple growth, meaning overvalued, no revenue. I need to pick something with good multiple growth, good revenue growth between 35 to 50%. Okay, multiple growth of between 10 to 20 and then 20 to 30, as you can see on the chart. And this must have good revenue, dominant brand, and global sales worldwide. Okay, and I just want to say that from my personal point of view, all these stocks will at least 2x by 2025, 2026. This is my personal view, take on the stocks. So let's start with stock number 1. I like this stock. I've used it for generations, and this brand will go on for generations to come. Yes, the name is Nintendo. Nintendo is only 4.7x, and they've done well in 2021. Handheld device had no competition except for iOS on the Apple. And now with them cutting costs, only selling digital products, digital online download, and in-game items, this will just boost their margin revenue sales even more. It's not just selling one game, but it's selling the game for longevity. So Nintendo has got their numbers, they've got their fans, and now it's all about just selling more and more products in future. So Nintendo is my holding, buy trigger of under $75, revenue growth of 35%, which if it stays that way, potentially in 2025, I'm expecting it to be at least minimum of $150 per share. Brand is still growing, and its longevity, it's their foothold for many more generations to come. The second one, e-commerce, an eBay killer. I like it. It's Etsy. The 2020 pandemic really brought Etsy from nobody to a superhero, selling homemade items, helping merchants get better in their shops, and promote entrepreneurship. That is what I like. So it's a eBay killer to me. A buy trigger straight away, $160 is really cheap just now. If it was $220 standing, I wouldn't be on the list because it's dropped for so low and its push is multiple down to 10x. And what makes it even better, the revenue growth is still over 100%. It may have dipped for Q1, but its growth is still there. It is still growing. Every time you go on Etsy, the website changes, new products comes in. And it is the only website in the world where you can buy so many great products under one roof of great quality, great review, and things that some you might not even find elsewhere. It helps the merchant, it helps the buyer. So for me, my expectation, if it still grows at the rate, expectation minimum 350 to 400 by 2025, providing the growth is there, providing the margin is decreasing, and providing the expanding globally more and more. So Etsy is my number 2. And now for my number 3. With Etsy comes PayPal. Okay, we need some online payment system, and PayPal seems to be the one. Now with expanding features like Square going into bankings, going to savings, potentially PayPal might go into future banking. Now they've covered almost half the globe, Australia, New Zealand, Europe. People using PayPal to transfer money for free. And now in US, you can buy cryptocurrencies, and potentially with credit card loans, they are just expanding their services. I mean, who needs the bank? So PayPal buy trigger below 225 is nice. Now just still slightly hover 13x. So if you bring down to 10x, always buy PayPal. So hovering just above, just wait for it to come down because we're still waiting for it to come down. Potentially with this inflation trade and high interest rate rising, we could see PayPal come for a dip, and remember to grab them hard. Expectation for PayPal in future 2025 with more expansion and more growth will be $350 stock. My minimal expectation of PayPal, because PayPal is not just here to disrupt, it's here to make it even better for everyone, making life easy for everybody without carrying a card. Everything just based on your mobile phone. So next one is another online e-commerce shop, but not based in US. Instead, it's based globally elsewhere. Yes, it's SEA Limited. This stock has been growing tremendously. When I first saw it, it was $30, and now it's almost hitting $300, hovering about $250. So SEA Limited is expanding, not just in Brazil, not just in Southeast Asia, now going to Bangladesh and India. Future Amazon going to places where Amazon has failed, and they are doing well so far. So now the buy trigger for me is 215. So if it hits 215, it's always a buy. The TTM future valuation 12 trailing months is a bit high. It's at 20x. There's a good reason why people are paying future value, because look at the global roadmap. It is just spectacularly amazing. Sitting about $100 billion, potentially I think it could double to $250 billion in the next 5 years. So 2025, 2026 expectation, I've done a video in the past. I call for 524. And with the revenue growth expansion and the way they just re-inject profits back into the capital for expansion is what I like. It's like Amazon back 15 years ago. They're deploying like for like, but they're going to places where Amazon have tried to reach and failed. So SEA Limited is doing well, not just on their online commerce, but the gaming feeding capital to everything else, and also their online payment system, which is pulling their weight, doing very, very well. So SEA Limited is also one of my favorite growth stocks in this category. This one is a brand new IPO, huge disruption, blockchain, Coinbase. I like Coinbase. Some say it's overvalued. When it came up 430, it's tremendously overvalued. But now it's sitting below 250. Yes, it's a great stock to buy. Anything under 250, I will buy. It will dips up to 225 at that time. Should be buying. My TTM on it is still 21x, but this will decrease tremendously. Why? Because the revenue growth is so great. Every time they beat their earnings, this TTM will drop. Okay, so the expectation revenue is 844% just now. It will decline, but it's still making money because of the cryptocurrency boom. But once it becomes an expansion for institutions to buy, for companies to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, for companies to secure and convert their fiat currency, Coinbase is there due to the high security, high intuitive, and also the base, a California company, which the American companies, European companies like. So the expectation of 2025, this sounds crazy, but I think they'll hit $1,000 a share. If not 2025, but at least before 2030, cryptocurrency boom, and Coinbase is ahead of everybody else. I know we heard about Kraken, heard about Gemini. Coinbase will not just be supplying retailers with coins, but also going higher up to institution, corporation, and companies who needs mode of exchange. And they are like the New York Stock Exchange, but for coins in America. The next stock is called Twilio. Internet of Things, cloud computing, supplying little tools to make everything gel together. Twilio is one of those companies that came in so quick after IPO and just shot straight up because of the great revenue growth, and they are still growing. Buy trigger for me is $300. At TTM of 26x multiple, before they were up at 40, but now they've dropped down because the share price dropped. But if they can continue the revenue growth of before above 50, 60%, they are just a winner to be held, because expectation of 2025 is $600. If they can keep this momentum up, potentially they could catch up to the likes of Salesforce and other cloud computing company. So Twilio is something that you shouldn't underestimate. It's something that if you're missing an Internet of Things or cloud computing type stock, Twilio is the one for you in your portfolio. The next stock that I like, electric vehicles, Chinese. Yes, it's NIO, not Tesla, but NIO. I wasn't looking at NIO when it was above 50 because I thought it was overvalued. But now, because they've dropped below 40, my buy trigger at 35, the TTM is about 16x multiple, and revenue of 2021 still growing greater 500%. The growth is growing. Going to Norway, secured another warehouse potential to build more cars, and my expectation 2025 will be $150 at least. The Chinese government supporting subsidies, trying to expand their local brand as well as Tesla, I think NIO has a chance to put a footprint whole in China and also potentially South Asia if their factories uphold the battery technologies, battery swapping gets legitimately real. So this is me on NIO. I think it's something not to be missed because it's a good price under 35. If it's above, then you have to watch out for the TTM multiple, but revenue growth is expanding. So NIO is my number 7. Man, the last one, another e-commerce stock, because really COVID-19 has changed the way we shop, the way we live, not just in US, Europe, UK, but also in the Far East Asia. And the next one is called Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo sitting at under 130. I think it's a good buy. TTM multiples of 17x, really overvalued, but their revenue growth is still over 162%. You cannot go wrong. Their model is growing. They are catching up to the likes of JD. They're also trying to catch up Baba. So Pinduoduo is very familiar with all the millennials in China and they like it. So Pinduoduo is good expectation. It may double to 260, between 200 and 260. That's my expectation for Pinduoduo. So something that you should watch out for. If you cannot just hold American and European stocks, you should hold some Chinese stocks. Okay, diversify and try to grab that gain that you can. So Pinduoduo is my final one, which I think will be great revenue growth, future growth stocks for 2025 onwards. So I hope you found it useful. Like I said, growth stocks have got nothing to recover. Growth stocks have proven themselves resilient and they are there to grow. If you hold rotation and value stocks, you will only reach a certain point and they will just be bloat. Okay, what's going to happen in 2022? What are you going to do? It'll be too late to try to catch growth stocks then. So this is the year to buy while they're still dipping and going sideways. Do not lose these opportunities. Now, I've given you more than 10 stocks that I think will be great growth. So please do click like and subscribe. And I want to see you in future because I want to share more information to help you in your investment journey. Thank you very much. Have a good day to you family investors.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see future videos, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell button. Ding dong! More videos. Bye!